Hayley and Michael have an ordinary farming family. A house, a garden, pigs, and cows. There is no question of vacation. All their time is taken up by monotonous work. They work hard because they have to support their children who are students. There is no time to think about entertainment. There is money because everything is homemade. Hayley took the products to the local market every other day. Once an elegant woman bought from her. Hayley, looking at her manicure, thought, when was the last time she herself had a manicure? Probably when she was younger. She doesn't even go to the salon because her friend Sarah does her manicure at home. Life goes on, but what did she see besides cows and pigs? She was overcome with pity. She wanted something new. So she went to her friends. Oh, God sent you. Sarah was happy when she heard her complaints. The cows will not go anywhere. Michael, your husband, is a hard worker. He will both milk them and take them out to pasture. And I'll throw you an interesting case. What? Hayley was interested. My university friend wants to go abroad, but she has no one to leave the house with. And not so much the house as 3 cats. She asked me to look after them, but I've been allergic to cats since childhood. And she doesn't want to take strangers. And she has a luxurious estate in California. Here's your chance to go to a resort. You can go and earn money too. Maybe you'll try, but Michael will let you. You'll rest from each other. And when you return, there will be romance, like in your youth. Her friend laughed merrily. What kind of romance is that? We haven't slept in different beds for a long time, but also in different rooms, Hayley grimaced. This is no longer life, but complete chaos. Surprisingly, Michael immediately gave his consent, and Hayley set off for California. The house where the cats lived was luxurious. 2 floors, all in white, beautiful furniture, which in some places had been torn apart by the furry cats. Here are some goodies for my little ones. The owner, Irina, almost kissed the furry creatures. A bag of food will be enough. Don't forget to give them water. Irina left for Bulgaria, and Hayley set about settling into someone else's house. The cats had their own room. Hayley fed them food, poured water into separate saucers, locked the door and went to explore the city. California lived its own resort life. Vacationers sat in cafes, couples strolled leisurely. No one was in a hurry anywhere, unlike in the village. Hayley was walking dreamily when she suddenly tripped and almost broke her nose. Almost on the fly, someone's strong hands caught her. Suddenly, she found herself in the arms of a strange man. Expensive perfume tickled her nose, and Hayley couldn't help but sneeze. The man laughed. Cheers! Maybe we'll have coffee for such an unusual acquaintance. Hayley didn't even know how to react to such an offer. But her friend Sarah appeared before her eyes, who would immediately seize such a chance. Because when else will someone invite me for coffee? Thought Hayley. The new acquaintance introduced himself as ANDRIY, gallantly shook his hand, and they went into the nearest coffee shop. The conversation flowed easily, and Hayley completely forgot about her home life. Of course, she didn't admit how she actually ended up in California. She said that, like everyone else, she had come to get better, to drink some water, and that she was living with a friend. Write down my number. Tell me when we can meet, suggested ANDRIY. In the evening, Hayley fed the cats, swept the fur, washed the floors everywhere, and there was still plenty of time before nightfall. Why not take a walk with a new acquaintance? I'm not doing anything bad, she justified herself. ANDRIY gladly agreed to meet. The evening seemed warm, and the lanterns gave a special light that set the mood for romance. ANDRIY turned out to be a good conversationalist. He talked about his childhood, his work in the mine. He admitted that he retired early because he worked in a hazardous area. My wife ran away with her lover, ANDRIY added bitterly, and I raised 2 daughters alone, and I cooked and baked cakes for their children's parties. What a man! Not like mine. Hayley plunged into her unhappy thoughts. Hayley, what's wrong with you? ANDRIY saw the change in her mood. Is something hurting you? They sat down on a bench, and the woman, as if in confession, began to tell her story. My life is cows, pigs, gardens. My husband and I haven't talked about anything for a long time, except for work. The children live their own lives. And I'm only 50, although I feel like I'm all of 90. She sighed heavily. How can you say that? You're as beautiful as this rose, ANDRIY said, handing her a flower plucked from a flower bed. Then he hugged her and kissed her. Oh, what a kiss it was. Strong and gentle at the same time. The taste of coffee still lingered on her lips, making her dizzy. God, what is happening to me? Thought Hayley, closing her eyes, as if to block herself from reality. But in a moment she, as if waking from a dream, took a decisive step back. Enough, ANDRIY. I am a married woman. Forgive me. I'm sorry I couldn't help it, the man sighed. Seeing the sadness in your eyes, I couldn't remain indifferent. I've never had anything like this happen to me, I swear. Let me be with you a little longer. What else does a woman need? More nice words and a little romance? Thought Hayley, trying to justify herself. Their evening meetings continued. The husband rarely called from the village, and the children only once asked how their mother was at the resort. And Hayley, meanwhile, flew on wings, living off meetings with ANDRIY. They walked in the park, laughed, talked about life. Apart from hugs and kisses, nothing more happened, but Hayley suspected that the most interesting thing was yet to come. One evening, ANDRIY confessed, I booked a hotel room. I want to spend an unforgettable night with you. Hayley didn't even think of refusing. That same day, she went to a fashion store and bought herself a red lace lingerie set. She rolled up her old panties and bra and threw them in the trash. Putting on the new clothes, she looked in the mirror. Beautiful. She winked at herself and laughed. It occurred to her what her husband would say if he saw her like this. Everything in the hotel room was like in a fairy tale. Vases with white roses, candles, champagne in glasses. ANDRIY was attentive, gallant, and Hayley felt like the happiest woman in the world. First, I'll take a shower, ANDRIY said mysteriously, and then I'll show you an incredible performance. You'll remember this evening for the rest of your life. Hayley finished her champagne, struck by his intriguing words. Her heart beat faster. Hayley pulled the blanket under her chin and wondered how everything was supposed to be. For the first time, she dared to betray her husband, but she remembered the words of her friend Lisa. Conscience is not the Gestapo. It will not torture you. There was no escaping from bed. ANDRIY approached, still undressed. Hayley noticed something flash in his hand. It was a pair of scissors. And now, dear, let's play, the gentleman said in a strange tone. Goosebumps ran down Hayley's body. Maniac. If you lie still, I won't do anything to you. But I warned you that you will remember this night for a long time. He took out a pair of tweezers from his pocket which are used to pluck eyebrows. He cut her underwear with scissors and spent the whole night plucking the hairs in her intimate area. He moaned and, probably in this way, satisfied his perversion. Hayley lay neither alive nor dead and said goodbye to life. I thought that at the end of his perversion, that idiot would definitely cut her to pieces. However, with the first rays of sunlight, the nightmare ended. Everything was wonderful. Go home happily. I don't think you'll tell anyone about our crazy night. The resort lover made a sour face. You won't tell, I know, because none of the ladies I've entertained so much has ever turned me into the police. Hayley was mentally exhausted, as if on cotton wool. She went to the train station, bought simple white panties and a bra at the local market, and threw away the fashionable red ones. Gee. She felt like she was swimming in a funeral pit. She barely found the strength to buy gifts for the house. The unfortunate woman returned to the village, and there the children were waiting for her. Michael grilled kebabs, put a bouquet of dahlias in a vase. Everyone was preparing for her arrival as if for a big holiday. Seeing all this, she burst into tears. What a fool I was. I don't need any more resorts. My family is the greatest happiness.